Splitting the difference. Splitting the difference is a practical and often effective method for resolving disputes, especially in straightforward negotiations. However, negotiators should be mindful of its limitations and ensure that it aligns with their overarching negotiation strategy and goals. It's essential to weigh the immediate benefits of reaching an agreement against the potential value that could be generated through further negotiation and exploration of alternative solutions. Splitting the difference is a common negotiation tactic where two parties agree to compromise by meeting halfway between their initial positions. This method is often seen as a quick and fair way to resolve differences and reach an agreement. However, it's important to understand both its benefits and limitations. Detailed analysis of splitting the difference. How it works. If one party is asking for $100 and the other is offering $80, splitting the difference would mean settling on $90. It's a simple arithmetic compromise. Perceived fairness. This tactic is often perceived as fair because both parties are making an equal concession from their original positions. It's a straightforward method to break a deadlock. Ease of agreement. It can expedite negotiations, especially in scenarios where parties are close in their positions but struggling to close the gap. Limitations and concerns. May not reflect true value. This tactic doesn't necessarily consider the actual value or cost of the item or service being negotiated. The true worth or the underlying interests of both parties may not be accurately represented in the middle ground. Potential for suboptimal outcomes. Both parties might leave the table with less than what could have been achieved through more thorough negotiation. There might be more creative, mutually beneficial solutions that are overlooked. Overuse and expectation. If used frequently, it can lead to an expectation in future negotiations, where parties may start from more extreme positions expecting to meet in the middle, which could complicate and prolong negotiations. Risks in complex negotiations. In more complex negotiations, such as those involving multiple issues or long-term partnerships, simply splitting the difference might ignore critical nuances and lead to dissatisfaction. Strategic considerations. Understand the context. Evaluate whether the situation is suitable for this tactic. For example, in time-sensitive negotiations, it might be more pragmatic. Assess the value. Understand the actual value of what's being negotiated. If the split meets both parties' essential needs, it might be a viable solution. Explore other options first. Before resorting to splitting the difference, explore other negotiation strategies that might lead to more value-creating outcomes. Use as a last resort. Consider using this method when all other negotiation techniques have been exhausted and an impasse has been reached. Prepare for future negotiations. Be aware that using this tactic might set a precedent for future negotiations, influencing how initial offers are set.